Alright, sorry about that. Oh, it's Matt Ang. Sorry, I forgot your Twitch username is different. Hi, Ang. Hi. Oh, God. Yeah. Hi. Maybe you should think about changing your username. Alright, so... Hi all who's tuning in on YouTube or Twitch. This is Manga Reader Club. We basically discuss manga, everything and anything adjacent. This stream is the manga debate stream regarding ecchi humor. I'm just going to shrink your models a tiny bit, Bao and King, just so we can see the screen a little bit better. Yeah.
How dare you?
Oh. How dare I? How dare you? Goddamn picture PNGs models. Static motherfuckers, you. Alright, so we today's stream we are discussing ecchi humor and whether it's something we should still celebrate or we should cast back into the fires of which it came. As I said, I am joined by 3 guests today. King Elendil over here. We got Bao or Bitch Ass Otaku and Aiko. Yeah. So
hello.
Hi up. Say your pleasantries, gangs. Gang. Can't speak.
Hey, what's up?
I should not have had that much Thai food today, but here we are. Okay. So I figured it'd be nice for you guys to introduce yourself. So we'll start from leftmost on my side of the screen. So we'll start with King. Just tell us about yourself, and we'll also just round off the conversation with what makes you think you have a good opinion on ecchi humor.
Well, yeah, I've been in the anime community. I started with anime in 2016. It's really not that long ago, but it's been 10 years now. And quickly got into manga. I've read quite a few full manga, significantly more unfinished manga. I don't. I think my opinion's valid because I value it. Yep.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. It. You know, because everything around. Everything that you perceive is a machination of your mind, and that therefore it's the only valid thing. Is that what you're trying to tell us right now?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. Let's move on to the infamous Bao. Oh, bitch ass otaku. Do you still go by that title, actually? Or is that just like long forgotten? Like,
you know, I don't really go by it anymore, not by choice. I kind of let the masses call me whatever they want. If they want to call me Bao, that's fine. If they want to call me bitch ass otaku, that's also nice. So either works. It is where I get my namesake, bitch ass otaku. So, as for my qualifications on the topic, I've been watching anime and reading manga for 15 years. And I believe ecchi humor, at least for the purposes of this stream, I'll say it's polished, but in reality, I'm more of a fence sitter. I just think it would be more entertaining for me to argue on the side of it being polished.
Awesome. And finally, we have our third guest is Aiko. Yeah, tell us about yourself.
Well, I used to watch a lot of anime back in the day. I've been watching anime for about 10 years, and now not so much anymore, but I was like really, really, really into it. Like that was my whole life. So, but yeah, life just got in the way. but I still like watch it here and then, sorry. But yeah, I think I've definitely watched a lot of ecchi stuff. And I do have strong opinions on it, which I probably will get more into later, but it's just, I do agree that it's polished, like, but I do have a lot of negative feelings about it. But nothing like too bad. But yeah,
So
that's my stance on that.
your stance is basically it's got problems, but it's here to stay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Excellent. So yeah, just start. So we did get your opinion, King. Actually, like, what do you think about the?
I'm a fence sitter, as well. But for the sake of argument, I'll say it's primitive because it sounds like we've got too polished. So I'll be the primitive.
All right. So you're gonna get your Bible out and school these heathens. Okay.
Excellent.
Excellent. All right. Well, as usual, I am basically the Madar the Vagabond Drifter. So, whatever you say, I will just just counterpoint no matter what, even if I end up contradicting myself as usual. All right. So honestly, it seems. Wait, who's the judge in this place? I think it's the voice. I think the judge is the public opinion. I think it's, the chat, society, our own morality. Also bow as well. Yeah, there we go.
Of course.
So. I mean, I've been around ecchi humor for a long, long time. I've been watching anime since 2007, 2006. Yeah, Bleach was in the early years. I think the first kind of ecchi humor I came across was the naked Yororichi scene when she first transforms from a cat.
Oh yeah.
And it was all downhill from there, basically. I wouldn't even call it downhill, but yeah. Now, obviously, it's very impressionable on a young, growing boy, But I think of all the things to start with, ecchi humor wise, I think it was pretty good. But anyways, sorry, go on.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, no. Continue.
No, it's just like...
Oh, okay, honestly, okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to ramble on until someone interjects, so go on.
I was going to say, since you shared your first experience with ecchi humor, mine was in anime with Sword Art Online, which was... it was something that I enjoyed definitely a lot more at the time. I since did a rewatch a couple of years ago of Sword Art Online, and I found it significantly less charming, whether because it was more tropey or whatever. I'm sure we'll get into the reasons for that all later, but...
So do you think? Do you just not? So do you not like it because you just feel like it's been played out now? But
when I was my first, well, it's hard to say my very first encounter with ecchi in anime because
my mic was off. Sorry.
It's hard to say my very first encounter because on YouTube and other online sites you always see images of like anime women in bikinis and shit. But I think my first time actually watching an anime or reading a manga with something like that in it was probably Soul Eater, which would be Blair Witch, I suppose, in episode 1 or chapter 1.
I think it was episode 1, yeah. It was part of the main character introductions, I think, yeah.
Well, of course. Episode 1, definitely. And then I guess also Dragon Ball. Actually, Dragon Ball would be an even earlier introduction. And I do distinctly recall the scene where Goku
the first episode. First episode.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the scene I'm referring to, I think it happens in like chapter 4 or something, but or something like that. But when Goku like pats Bulma's panties to see if there's Dragon Balls or to see if she has balls, and then there's like the classic like, "Oh, Goku, the Dragon Balls are right here. What are you saying? I have no balls. What does that mean?" So I think that might have been actually preceding the Soul Eater example.
All right. I go.
Yeah. Honestly, my first experience with like ecchi humor was I don't know if like anybody's watched it probably, but Chivalry of a Failed Knight. I used to watch some like I don't know. I didn't really like it, but I kept on watching it because I have like a thing about not finishing anime. And,
You're such a girl.
Thank you. And
Is this one I'm looking at right now? Rakudai no Cap. Oh, it's that one.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And it's
Hey,
like
I've seen that one. Yep.
okay, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I passed
like-
on that one. I saw that. I was like, nah, I'm out.
Come
is it
on,
that-
okay. It was
No,
It was
I
bad,
searched
but-
that one out, and it was a fun time. It was bad, but it was a fun time.
You searched for it. It's like you saw glimpses of it, and you thought, I want some of that. Is that what you're telling us,
Hey.
King?
So back when I got into anime, I had no standards. Everything was good.
I think it's still the case, but go on. Go on. Sorry.
And I was looking for ecchi, fantasy themed, power fantasy themed shows. That was on the top of the list.
So do you think like the etchiness is like important for the power dynamic of harems?
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I just like okay. Honestly, okay. How do I say this like in a proper way? Like I feel like it's just necessary sometimes, and that's why I feel like it should stick around because it's like again like you mentioned that it was very I know you said it's very impressionable on like a growing, young male, I guess at the time. And
Yeah, we're all young males here. It's all safe
when I was a
space.
young man.
When I was a man. Yeah, carry on.
And I think it's like it's necessary, but it makes it so washed in a way. Like I'm just like, oh, here we go again. Like, and then I just see Stella Vermillion's like tits everywhere, and like she's like you see up her skirt, blah blah blah, and like I remember there was one scene where it was like, she was like eating a steak, I believe, and like her boobs were just like all over the table and like whatever, and they were like, oh my god, you can really put it back for like a female, or I don't know, or like damn little lady or something like that. And
It's like,
no,
damn,
like,
damn girl, ever heard of rope?
right, like so it was nice, but again, I just think it's necessary, but there's just other things.
It's a necessary evil.
Yeah, for
It's-
sure.
But we
Yeah.
agree it's evil.
It is evil, but necessary evil.
It's evil.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing redeeming about it. Ecchi. It's an evil thing, but we must constantly battle against.
Yeah, and like you're like scoping it out. Like I don't know. I just stumbled into this. Okay, like I wasn't scoping out chivalry.
Scoping out.
I wasn't like hunting for it or anything. I promise. Like
So just imagining just like a bunch of guys in a submarine. It's like there's something on the radar. we got 2 Ds coming this way. All right, Bao. I think you're eager to say something.
So in regards to like ecchi, to get more into my thoughts, and the reason I initially said I'm a fence sitter, but I'm going to lean on polished, is because I think ecchi humor, since that's the actual topic, ecchi is a whole other thing that's like much broader. But like ecchi humor, I mean, it's been a mainstay of anime since Dragon Ball or say Yatsura. some Godai guy work I'm forgetting the name of. But it's been like a mainstay, and I think a lot of creators, I'm gonna like go into shonen. I think a lot of creators, like Naruto's author, for instance, they see like Master Roshi, they see the nosebleeds, they see him, they see the ecchi humor within, like, say, Dragon Ball, for instance,
Yeah.
but they don't necessarily even know what makes it funny. As in, and sorry, I use Masashi Kishimoto as an example purely because he has stated that he was inspired by Dragon Ball, not because he falls victim to this necessarily.
Yeah.
But to use actually even an adaptation, let's use like Dragon Ball Z, for instance. The adaptation of Dragon Ball, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Anime. Within it, there are scenes where Master Roshi, that are anime original, where Master Roshi will like uncomfortably grope Android 18 for a very long amount of time, and it gets to a point where it's almost excessive and
How
doesn't have
long
the
is too
charm of the
long?
original.
Me being the inexperienced soy boy, for example, please tell me how long is too long?
I guess long enough that the folds of her shirt are enunciated and it goes on, and you know, like she's making uncomfortable groans for like 20 seconds, and then, you know, she hits him. And in like that uncomfortable lingering as a result of the fact that they didn't have enough manga source material kind of pushes it to the point where it's like, all right, this isn't like funny anymore. It's just kind of like we're watching sexual harassment take place on screen.
Right.
Not to sound like a libtard, but you know, when, because I think the punchline isn't the fact, or for instance, My Hero Academia, like the punchline isn't that the guy is just a creep. You know, like when Mineta in My Hero Academia says things like, "Wow, her ass looks great. Wow, her tits look great," and then at most maybe a character will be like, "Wow, you're weird." That's not really funny. It's just a guy being kind of creepy, and then we're just supposed to laugh because, haha, it's like funny to be weird. But what's funny in like Dragon Ball, for instance, is whenever like early Dragon Ball, when there's ecchi humor, it's either at the expense of Bulma herself, in a comedic way, or most commonly it's at the expense of Master Roshi. Like how in one chapter of Dragon Ball, Master Roshi shrinks himself in order to hide in the toilet bowl before Bulma sits down, but ultimately fails to see anything and gets flushed down the toilet. That's funny because
You
he's
didn't
being
get
a
anything
freak
out of it, but
and gets rightful punishment, right? Narrative punishment. That's what makes it funny, because it's like the absurd lengths he goes to see some, and then also his rightful failure afterwards.
do you think so? You bring up so I think it's going to be a running gag with these streams, because I'm not sure if you were present for you saw the Shonen stream, but Dragon Ball comes up a lot in people's debates. It's the go-to reference.
I know it's ideal for shonen, for ecchi, even.
It's the perfect manga of discussion, really.
Son
But
Goku's still my profile picture, of course.
get your Dragon Ball shots ready. Yep, yeah. Take a shot every time Dragon Ball is mentioned. That's for sure. But you bring up Naruto and Jiraiya, and is that a bad example then of like the sort of pervy sage dynamic? And I mean, let's be honest here, an underage boy transforming into a naked girl to get his teacher's rocks off to get what he wants sounds a bit.
Well,
I'm pretty sure
actually,
this would
so,
come
okay.
up in. I'm pretty sure this would come up in Law and Order. Honestly,
This is true. I'm gonna expose myself here. I have
Boom.
read the first 7 volumes of Naruto, but I've never even gotten to the Jiraiya stuff. So
oh, you never got that far. Jeez.
so I can't comment on it. But I think I actually by my own metric,
Where did
I
we
probably
find
think
this guy? I
funny.
had to talk to my manager later. Jeez, you never watched the whole
I
of
know, I mean,
Naruto?
I know I've only read the first 7 months. And I fell off because it got when the superpowers started to overpower the ninja stuff. I was like my elementary school self.
Okay, I'm just saying. We were midway through the second arc, and we got guys like using like hand signs, conjuring elements. Okay, ninja stuff was out of the question when the first character introduced, when the main character was introduced, was wearing bright color orange.
I guess for me, my I was like, oh, that's fine because that's like a reference to blah 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 Japanese mythology. But once that like stopped being something I was familiar with, even though almost everything in Naruto, including the more bizarre stuff, is a reference to Japanese mythology, my third grade self was like, all right, this is pushing it. I can't.
So where does the naked girl come into this mythology?
Oh, Greg. Well, of course.
Don't worry. You don't have to answer that. But yeah,
I'm trying to think. Like, I know really Naruto like transforms into a naked woman and stuff. But
is that bridge too far, or is that acceptable? I think
I would say that's like kind of like that doesn't really fit into either of my examples because it's not like sexual harassment. It's just kind of like Naruto turning into a sexy lady, and then men are like, "Oh, sexy," and then he like gets stuff out of it. Like people, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my Naruto knowledge is middling, but I know like he'll transform, and it's kind of just like, oh, that's a sexy girl, and the joke is kind of just that Naruto's like a dumb little kid, and he transforms into like stupid things and to trick people or to be mischievous. So I guess that's like to me
to trick people. It sounds such a questionable thing when you put it out of context. It's just like he's basically Naruto.
Maybe
Naruto is basically catfishing people to get what he wants.
Here's the thing, I don't really remember.
If they had internet in Naruto, I think he'd be like one of those cyber scammers. Honestly, it sounds like it's really.
This is so true. I do know he like Naruto.
Hey, big boy, I'm a sexy girl. It's just like send me money. I think
0.4 miles away from your area.
Exactly. Naruto would have OnlyFans. He would definitely have OnlyFans. Honest to God.
I know he like transforms into a guy as well in like the Kaguya fight or something. So I've supposedly seen.
Yeah, that was that was 500 chapters of character development right there. Honestly, like he just did the Uno reverse.
Well, I think in the anime, like
I think
he like I think he did it to Lady Tsunade, or like I forgot what her name was. Is this Lady Tsunade? I forgot.
Yeah.
But he did it, but he was like a sexy man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so, like, yeah. I completely forgotten about that, but yeah.
Yeah, so like it's like
he's a man of opportunity. You gotta respect the game,
right?
You know?
Like you gotta be sexy for both genders. So like,
yeah,
you know,
right.
I feel like in Naruto's case, like it's just that's like appropriate. I don't know. I feel like it's okay.
I would say it's appropriate.
Like it's funny. Yeah, and it's not like he's like they're like prepubescent like he's turning into prepubescent like. I don't know, children. It's like actual full-grown, like, but they don't know that it's Naruto, so like, obviously it's not that bad. I guess.
Forgot to update the bot there again. Jeez.
Like, I guess here's where I draw the line. Like, see, in that case, I think it's fine because the joke is more so, haha, Naruto's like a mischievous trickster young boy who does things that are uncouth or unbefitting of like a middle schooler.
He's a growing boy.
Supposed to be. You know what I mean? It's
he's
like,
just a boy.
Yeah.
As opposed to the joke, like if Jiraiya had sex with Naruto when he was in his female form, you know, that'd be pretty fucking weird, right? But
right.
I think it's okay if he transforms and it's like Jiraiya might not necessarily know it's Naruto and he's like, oh, what a sexy lady, and then Naruto's like, you fucking pervy old man, it was me. I think that's almost.
He
okay.
says that. He says after the sex.
After the sex.
All right. Okay. So we've talked about Naruto as an example. Can you think of like what you constitute as like a really bad, like a series where like the ecchi humor you think is just like unpermissible, let's say?
I I would actually say the vast majority of isekai harem anime, really take your pick. It's almost in every single one of them. I usually think that's pretty excessive. Or I don't think it's usually, well, wait, my bad. I was thinking of just ecchi as a whole, not ecchi humor. So that was actually, okay, so my fault. I'm going to retract my statement.
Okay.
Ecchi humor, I think an example of that being bad would be like My Hero Academia.
Silver says Overlord. Which Calix responds saying, "Isn't Overlord for pedos?" So we're off to a great start in examples.
I had seen the first 3 seasons of Overlord. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really remember there being that much like ecchi humor, even though Albedo or whatever, like
Albedo and Shalta. I think it's the thing is with Overlord, it's that. Funny. I think when it comes to Overlord, it's the problem is with the anime is that they kind of just cut a lot of corners, and even when it comes to it's a lot of the implied, let's say nasty stuff, is in dialogue only. It's like, oh, they talk about this or they talk about something happened. And stuff like that. But I guess the fact that it's there, it's kind of concerning. I think there is this one particular character in season 4 or season 5, which is straight up just, she is straight up like just a pedophile, but just thirsting after young boys. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a concern. King, do you have like have you seen Overlord?
I have seen Overlord. I don't really remember it for the ecchi, apart from the Albedo and Shaltir stuff as well.
Yeah.
I never really thought that it was, that problematic. But I don't think it really added much to the experience, and I think that's where I would say it wasn't a great addition to Overlord.
It wasn't a great. It was you didn't. So it wasn't a great addition to Overlord. So all right.
Yeah, but mostly just because I don't think it really. I don't remember it adding anything to the experience. I didn't really think Overlord was a particularly funny show.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm kind of broken when it comes to comedy, but that was my read. And so I think that Overlord is just it could have cut out all the ecchi stuff,
Silver
all the ecchi humor, and it would have been the same experience.
You think it'd be the same? It wouldn't be, okay.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you say that's an argument against ecchi humor, that it just provides nothing to the actual content of the show? Because Silver gives some examples here, and I'm just gonna he says it was good, but I'd say ruined by the. He says it was good, but I'd say ruined by the ecchi humor. There was a joke 5 minutes into the anime. Season 2, there's the impregnate me scene and so on like that. So it's not looking great.
Well, actually, I would say.
Do you think it's important to the character, or?
I'm speaking. No, I don't, and I don't think that's a necessity. Humor in general never really serves a narrative. Not that it can't, but it just generally doesn't. So, as in, it doesn't serve any themes, which is fine, but I don't think that's really a necessity. It's just supposed to be funny, and if it's not funny, it does fail at its job. And in the case of Overlord, I would say that, I didn't particularly... First off, I didn't even acknowledge it as ecchi humor, because is it really ecchi humor? I guess, Albedo does have, big boobs, and she does lean on Ainzul Gown or whatever.
Yeah, just say Irons, it's okay.
And yeah, but it's like, was the joke that she's like her tits are out, or is the joke that she's lusting over him and he's like whatever? I mean, I guess it's still ecchi humor because it's meant to be titillating to the male audience.
Haha, tit.
But I didn't really find it. But yeah, I guess I would have to agree with Silva that I didn't really find it particularly funny. But I don't think it was like also downright disgusting either, even though it kind of falls into the same line as like kind of as I alluded to earlier, as most isekai, where it's just kind of, if you're supposed to self-insert as Ainz, you're kind of like, oh, cool, the sexy girl who looks like a little kid Shalltear is after me, and the big titty mommy one is after me. So maybe that could be something that people could deem like inappropriate or
it's so funny and relatable. Yeah, like no.
More like the fact that an author would write a self-insert story where women are thirsting after the protagonist could be a reflection of our like patriarchal society. If you wanted to go that route, you could, I guess.
Yeah.
But me personally, I don't think it's like that egregious. But I also don't really think it's necessary, and I think it mostly just detracts.
Yeah, so Calix says, by the way, Mado, if you look for it, it will always amplify your feelings on the thing you looked for. Yeah, that's fair. It's also, you make a good point, Bob. Let's try to find another example then. Aiko, do you have like an example of where like you consider that ecchi's just gone too far?
I think the most obvious one is like, I mean, I honestly didn't finish watching it because it didn't interest me for many reasons. I think obvious reasons, but High School DxD.
Oh, High School DxD.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I like got into it for a few episodes. Not even into it. I think my brother was watching it at the time, and I was just kind of like, you know. But he seemed pretty entertained, so I don't know. I think that's like what makes it, you know, like as opposed to like an anime like Overlord, like, which I have not finished either. I don't know when I left off on that anyway, but I just feel like if like there's one suggestive character and like ecchi is in it and whatever, like that's just not how genre works. Like we can't just label it just because it has like, you know, one like scene of like ecchi humor or like elements of like ecchi, like, and I feel like most anime at some point does, but I think High School DxD for sure is like one of, I don't know, I feel like it takes it too far, in my opinion.
I'm going to for the sake of argument, I'm just going to disagree with you, only because of the fact that I feel like this kind of show was always marketed like for that sort of thing, and that it's serving its function, so to speak.
Right.
I mean, it's in the title. I mean, High School DxD, like. Like the double D's is in the fucking title, like.
Right. So, I don't know.
Like,
are
we gonna get upset if we see like a naked woman in porn now? Like it's like...
No.
Well, you could argue that it shouldn't exist at all.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like I don't know, for that, I guess you could just watch like, I don't know, just go all
actual
the way.
Actual dirty movies.
I mean?
Like, I kind of agree with that as well.
It's just bad regardless. Yeah. Fair enough, yeah. The C-Waz makes the point. Oh, it serves its purpose, but I think it's just bad regardless, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a show, it's like that like ASMR anime. It's like, well, there was ASMR in it, but should a show like this doesn't even really have any reason to exist? And I guess that's where the argument would lie, as opposed to how well it served its purpose.
Yeah. Oh, so Calix, yeah, Mada, do we know the intent of DxD was for double D, and that's just so you true. Inputting your preconceived notions into it? I feel so attacked, and we are going. So we're just gonna go like title meaning on Google and see what comes up. So stands for devils, also dragon, and the word fallen. Of a fallen angel, like downfall. Oh. Which is also so that I never actually seen High School DxD, but okay, fair enough. But I'm pretty sure it's also just referencing double D's. I'm fairly certain. Like, if we go on Reddit, for example, I don't know, just of all places. Yeah, it's like the second comment. It's Ria's bra size, for example. It's not. I think it's a safe assumption. It's a double meaning. It can mean both.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, like I feel like it's both of them. Like it's just a play on words.
But how dare I? How dare I assume? Alright, they couldn't pass a moment without Ecchi mention or Ecchi joke. Did it succeed? Sure, but if that's the only metric for a good show, then one could make the argument towards actively hurtful or harmful content. That is a very good point, Seawabs. I think one of the worst examples, in my opinion, is ecchi humor, which is so egregiously bad that it's just like not serving any function, and it's borderline like questionable, and
I have the perfect example.
you have that because my one is, and this has been brought up in a previous stream before, or Kenichi's mightiest disciple, strongest disciple, Kenichi. If we just, I mean, look at and this is like the main female protagonist, the female love interest in this. I can see nipples.
Wait, I've seen that. Yeah.
I can see nipples.
Yeah.
Why can I see the entire curvature of the suit? Like, and I shit you not, like, the anime is bad, but the manga, there are scenes where only the nipple is covered, like the latex is clinging on for dear life on the nipple, and it's just, come on, man. I mean, and you're thinking, oh, Kenichi, it got worse over time. No, look, this is the cover of Volume 1. This was bad it was a bad apple from the get-go.
Yeah, geez, that is
There's full cleavage in every angle. It's not.
That does not leave anything to the imagination.
Right.
That's awesome.
This is a martial arts series.
I thought it was an okay show.
Why does it look like that? I don't know. Physics has been broken many times, and we got a female character in a series with chainmail. That wears chainmail. Where the chainmail functions the same way as this godforsaken latex. We just got an announcement for like the new anime or manga sequel coming out like a couple months ago, and they bring out this shit again, even more like high def nude, like might as well be nudity shit. Like, come on.
No, she is naked. It's just purple skin.
It's purple skin.
Right.
Yeah. They didn't even bother with like the fabric folds in this one. You can only see a little bit of crimping. They just stopped caring after Volume 1. It's over.
There's like two crimpings like on that doesn't even make any sense where they're placed, but okay. What?
Yeah, maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me, but I think I might even see a little bit of areola. It's awesome.
Wait,
It's
me
all-
too.
Yeah, it's there. It's there. It's there. This is why the stream is 18 plus, by the way. It's because of this shit. We can't have a basic conversation without jumping to this. So Calix brings up Saitokai. I forgot the name of it now. Saitokai Yakuin Domo. Yakuin Domo. And we're just gonna give it a quick glance. Okay, it's this one. Alright, it's the one with the sex jokes, the anime. Yeah, I remember this one now. I'm not sure if you guys remember seeing this one.
Oh,
I remember it
goodness
when it
gracious,
came out, but I've
this
never
show.
actually seen it.
Mm-mm.
It's I mean,
Oh wait, no, this isn't the one I hated. This is the one I liked. Never
this
mind.
is the
JK.
one you liked.
I liked this one. Yeah.
So,
By the way, the opening and the ending for this were fire.
all right. So music good. Does music give you a pass?
Music good, and also I thought I did think the ecchi humor in this show was mostly funny.
Mostly funny.
Now, yeah, so they overplayed, a lot of their humor, by the end of each episode, and by the end of the series, because it falls into the same trap as a lot of like gimmick-based anime or humor anime, comedy anime. But I did think it was pretty interesting. It had some funny slapstick style jokes. It had really nice character designs.
So this is okay.
From,
Calix is saying this is a good example of ecchi humor. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I would agree. I would agree with Calix.
So what Calix says is that it's very considerate with the ecchi and goes for gags without overreaching. I tend to agree. I think my only grievance with this series, was the teacher. Which is like, I think some of the humor was like borderline sexual harassment. But, I think it played to the themes. Like, you're an adult in a high school. Like, that's not... But we've seen that sort of humor before. Like, if we go back to, like, Great Teacher Onizuka, where it's sort of ecchi humor with... And I know the whole argument of legal constraints in Japan, and that they're over the age of 16, yada yada yada, an age of consent, this is the sort of argument you hear people say before going to jail. Like, come on.
Yeah. No, I mean, I wouldn't defend the teacher stuff. I did think it was, I didn't like it. Its inclusion didn't put me off the show. I finished it and thought it was fun. I thought the humor was pretty good, and what the humor did actually did serve to like make the show, like the show would not have been the same without the humor. Is what I'm trying to say. And unlike Overlord, where you could take the humor out of that show, it'd be the exact same fucking experience.
Yeah.
This show, you take the humor out of, and it just becomes completely dead.
It's the essence, yeah. But CWAVs interjects and says, "But Your Honor, she's a 5,000-year-old vampire that looks like a 10-year-old girl."
That's incredible.
Would the kill count towards this ecchi humor discussion? It's been
yes. I was going to bring that one up actually as a good example.
Right.
But
let's hear what you got.
Well, actually, before that, I was going to say,
all right,
more eloquently than I was able to put it earlier, is that the issue with a lot of ecchi humor, especially in modern anime, is just that I think it being funny is a cover-up for the author just wanting to draw tits. Like, how many times in One Piece can Sanji be like, "Oh, so sexy" to a woman with big tits before it's just like, I think the author just likes drawing big boobs. I don't even think he thinks it's that funny himself. I don't even think he's ever laughed at it.
I think it's worse, so I think the anime kind of perpetuates it and makes it worse as well. So, like,
right, for the record, I like One Piece. But...
Yeah, I like One Piece, and I feel like there's an agenda against Sanji with the anime directors, that they purposely add scenes and make more ecchi, add more lecherous gazes on Sanji in the anime compared to the manga. I'm convinced there's an agenda.
And like, it just doesn't make it, it's not even really funny, like when I'm watching like an isekai anime, and those are usually bad anyhow, but I'm watching an isekai anime, a fantasy isekai, and the protagonist is like walking down the street, and then some girl with big tits who's like part cat, her like dress or skirt or something.
It's important she's part cat. It's very important.
Yeah, of course. It's integral. And then he like blushes, and he's like, "Oh my god, a girl's panties!" And the anime, of course, does like a triple zoom three-way camera angle of her pantied ass, and it's like,
Can
okay,
someone
how
find
much of
the
this
anime that he's referencing right now?
is this? It's like, is
No,
this
because
supposed to
that
be
matches
funny?
like 15 million anime.
Right.
Like, it's
Good
like at
luck.
that point, I don't think it's supposed to be funny. I think it's just supposed to like get the creator slash audience's rocks off. Well, Kill La Kill, to segue into that, for instance, that also has a lot of ecchi that is supposed to be tittillating, but I think it
Tittle.
works it into its narrative and is also very funny
Mhm.
in its absurdity.
Yeah. What was so Kill la Kill? So just doubling back to Kill la Kill. Oh, what was your problem with Kill la Kill?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no problem with it at all. I think it's great. I was
You
actually
think it's
use it
good?
as an
You think it's
example of
Pete?
where
You think it's
ecchi-
Pete?
I think it's excellent. Yeah, I was going to use that as an example of where ecchi humor is done well.
Oh, okay. So I don't know why my
That's
brain
what
was like Kill la Kill with the ecchi humor. I thought, yeah, that's a good one. I honestly, that is a good one. My brain was thinking when it did that Akagami ga kill. That's what my brain was telling me. Yeah, this one. But to be fair, that was bad all around. Like it was, the ecchi humor wasn't gonna help in any way. It was a whole gobbledygook of bad, in my opinion. Anyways.
Yeah, I remember I watched both Kill la Kill and Akame ga Kill, and I would have to agree. I mean, I think Akame ga Kill, uh, I wouldn't consider that ecchi humor so much. I think there was some of that. It's been too
There was
long,
some, yeah.
but there was a lot. There was just a ton of ecchi in general in that show, and
No, yeah.
it served like very little purpose. Going back to my problem with ecchi and the other shows we've talked about, but I also just think it was just a bad show
Do you think?
narratively.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. I think even if ecchi was used, it would kind of be like a sort of vainglorious attempt to salvage whatever was there. But yeah,
Yeah,
my brain was going to Kill la Kill though. On the other hand, I feel like even with the ecchi, it was used as a sort of dare I say commentary on
absolutely, and that's
on the like
that's
the
what made this so good.
hypersexualization of like I don't know like a bunch of things. I think it was like a big social commentary. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's well.
I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a show about. No, you're good. It's a show definitely about like, liberation with clothes being the allegory for that. But I would actually disagree with the consensus that Kill la Kill is some extreme, or is at least one of its primary goals is to critique fan service as a whole. Only because when you actually read interviews with staff members, whether it's the character designer or the director, that doesn't actually seem to be one of their goals.
They're just like
because
degenerates.
obviously, well, yeah, well, I guess you could say that, but because I think the main goal is just maybe it's not to critique fan service as a whole, but almost to be like, hey, fan service doesn't have to be bad; it can also be good.
Do you think?
It's
Do you
more
think
like
we should
presenting a
get?
second
Celebrate fan
option.
service way more than it critiques it. That was my read when I watched the show. Right, like literally the good guys are the nudist colony, right? Like they're not trying to say like, ecchi is bad, right? They're just I think they're trying to shine, they're trying to use that ecchi humor to talk about other topics and exaggerate their points.
Yeah.
It's been too long since I've seen it.
But I feel like it's
yeah.
also they burn it on both ends as well. Like there's like a lot of male nudity as well, so it's not like it's like sexualization.
Right, or like and even like conventionally maybe unattractive characters, or like the old people, the fat people, like they even get naked in the end. It's like, and I would even argue that if anyone tries to claim that Kill la Kill is say anti fan service or is overtly against it, I have to point out that the main villain, or more like, was it Satsuki or Ragyo? But one of them, the people who wanted to constrain humanity in their clothing, that seems to be the anti-fan service position, and seems to be what the entire show is, fighting against. That fan service is
Oh
in
yeah,
fact bad. It
absolutely.
actually seems like, if anything, the show is saying fan service, as I said earlier, doesn't have to be bad. It can be good, and it can be liberating.
Okay, we got a lot of long comments here, so I'm just going to read them out. On good examples, I do think Maiden of Amnesia is a particularly good example of how it integrates into the character's writing and actual story. The show actually explains why the lead female acts that way, and even allows her to develop out of it later on. I haven't seen this, but I'm scrolling down like the social media page, and we got like basically we get a scene with knives, and then we got cleavage shot. And then we got people sitting in the in the bathtub. Very necessary, of course. Yeah, I'm not being judgy, but what else we got? I mean, it looks like. It looks nice. So I'm not gonna judge, and obviously I haven't seen it, so I don't really know. It seems to be like very, very well beloved. I was going over the comments, and it seems like people saying very beautiful, touching, and stuff like that. So. Yeah, that sounds like we're supposed to defend Bayonetta being sexual. Yeah. We also got another comment from Ang saying, yes, also going off of what Bao is saying about Kill la Kill, one of my favorite examples of ecchi humors is the disastrous life of Saiki K. The character Toritsuka would be the one to have such fantasies, but the show uses the desire itself and the lengths he goes to fulfill them as the punchline, rather than the actual ecchi itself. Which I think is a very good example. I think. Okay, so I'm just gonna read Silver's comment as well. Oh, I do know an anime about kind of bad ecchi or some in general. Eminence and Shadow. It also adds the isekai ecchi problem stereotype, which was meaningless. Yeah, absolutely. One particular manga.
Okay.
So,
I want to defend my one of my favorite isekai shows out there.
Yeah, go for it. What, Eminence and Shadow? That's your
Eminence and Shadow.
best.
I love Eminence and Shadow.
That's on your podium.
I think that shit is so funny. And okay, so a lot of it's not due directly because of the ecchi humor. The ecchi humor probably could be cut out a little bit, but Eminence and Shadow is like it's parody and satire of the entire, power fantasy isekai genre. And because ecchi humor is so prevalent in those genres, you can't do that show without taking that ecchi humor and using it to, instead of being meaningless, it often furthers the plot of Eminence and Shadow, or is especially meaningless. I don't know. I love the show. I thought it was very funny. I think that it does a lot to identify and play off the exaggerate the tropes to the point of ridiculousness in a really comedic way, including the ecchi ones.
Yeah, okay. Aiko, do you have one such series?
Honestly, it was said earlier, but Psyche K, I really enjoyed it. And as you said, it was mainly focused on the extremes he would go to for that type of stuff, and it without actually getting there. You know what I mean? And it's I feel like that's funny. Because we all know what he's trying to get, or what the goal is, but it's just showing that aspect of desperation to get there. And that's what's funny in itself, and I think that's what what makes ecchi humor funny. It's not, I feel like sometimes it's not like really
It's not the
the
goal, it's the
end
journey.
goal. Right, it's the journey that
It's
like
the
is
journey.
funny to me. Yeah, and I feel like if that's incorporated into an anime, like
It's-
that
think-
works. But
I think I know what you mean. Can't remember the series, but I remember this one particular scene where, you know, the standard trope of they go to the sauna and the girls and the boys side, and the boys basically spend half of the episode coming up with an amazing plan or strategy
Wait, what?
or something
I know
like
what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's just
it was-
like, but it's about the journey and the sacrifice to like,
right.
they may not succeed or not, but it's about the process, and you know, that's why I find
Yeah.
that funny. I don't think like the whole like showing them is it's necessary. It's about, you know,
Right.
yeah, because I
It's
think
like
I believe,
the
yeah, go on.
it's just, I feel like when you like base it off of like it, then it comes to the point where they like achieve that goal, and now it's like, okay, that's kind of like sexual harassment. Like,
Mhm.
okay, you got there, but now it's like going too far. And I don't know, like if it's quick, I guess, and they did get there, and it's like, oh my god, all the women are startled, or like, oh my god, you just looked up or my underwear, or like whatever. Like, fine, but as you were saying, like, yeah, it's the process of getting there and
It's
the
the process,
ridiculousness
yeah.
of it. So yeah,
Yeah, I get what you mean. But yeah, it's a funny thing because ecchi humor doesn't have to be like show illicit content per se. It could be so effective of just the idea that you're going to the goal, let's say, or the punchline is going to be illicit, that you know, it works off of that. And this is why I kind of want to bring up a particular manga called Muso Telepathy. So basically, it's about this girl in high school, and there's this boy she sits next to. Basically, she's able to read minds, and this boy she sits next to, who basically fantasizes about her, and she basically has these images that pop on her head of all these illicit acts, you know, and so on
Right.
like that. And it's like an ongoing thing, and it's kind of revealed halfway through the series that she can't actually picture what people are thinking in the mind. She can only hear what they're saying, so all the imagery is what she's actually just concocting in the head.
oh wait, that makes it so much better though. Like,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's
So
coming
it's
from
a
her.
great subversion is what I wanted to say. That all this
Right.
time she was thinking that he was doing he was thinking of all these illicit things. But he was just saying like, oh, she's pretty. I want to like take her to somewhere or something like that. And he's just like, you know, and she's thinking of all these like illicit actions, and it's actually just she's the one concocting all this. It's funny, and I find that a fantastic subversion, but where it was all this ecchi humor, and the payoff was nope, that was just you. That was just you thinking it. You know?
Yeah. And it makes it like, I guess in my opinion it makes it better because it's like, I guess in that case it's like admirable that it's from a woman that's like thinking about those things. You know,
Mhm.
like instead of like constantly like it's always like a man or a male, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, coming up with this imagery and having these like disgusting thoughts, but like that's very interesting that it's like coming from her and her brain, and like it's just him or her hearing his thoughts about like that stuff. I gotta
Okay.
watch that. I don't know what is it called?
Muso Telepathy.
Okay.
It's like one of those single chapter series, so it looks like it's 7 chapters long, like 700 chapters long, but it's like 1 page per chapter, so it's like so don't get intimidated by the size. You go for it quick. So I did get a ping from Calix. Google Macadami Washoi Angel and basically prompting Ang and Angel and tell me where this fits in, please. So I basically pulled up the cover image, and it's not looking good.
Oh
So-
lord.
It's not looking good. I mean, the tits are basically tennis balls flying in the air from the girl in the middle. We got. I'm not. Well, Bao's blocking the the panty shot, but it's.
Noble
Yes.
sacrifice. Oh,
The highlight is the
Why'd you do
angel, Madal. The angel is a dude. Which one's the dude?
the one being thrown. Yeah.
The one on the left. The one on the left. Which one? Physics
No,
left. The green head one. Which one's the dude? The one with
The one being carried by like thrown by the redheaded girl in the center.
Oh yeah. The
Oh,
little
Angel.
one.
Okay, you want me to Google the character
he's
Angel?
tiny.
Okay, hold on. Let me just get the. Okay, Okay, Macademy. Okay, I'm gonna get in trouble for this, aren't I? When I. All right, Angel. Oh.
Oh no.
Okay, that's a bad resolution. It's not looking good. All right, can we get my enemy list to come clutch on this? There we go. It's not what I was expecting from that cover, but yeah.
No.
Has Ecchi gone too far? I don't think it's gone far enough in this case. In this terrain, he's considered a super weapon of mass destruction. Thank you for providing context, Calix, because it only makes it worse. It does not help the case. They call him hard gay. That makes it worse. That's not helping. What is going on with his abs? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's got a stomach, but at the same time, he's got an 8-pack going on. It's not. I don't think they've whoever made this didn't learn about human anatomy. This is
That's
quite
like
because
a chest pack. Like that's like below his boobs. Like what? The anatomy there doesn't make any sense.
It looks painful. It looks like a painful existence. It's not good. That's not good. Like health wise, like if. I'm pretty sure if I saw a person like this, I'd call a doctor. Like, fuck. Oh, he moves like $1 million too. What does that mean? Like he moves like $1 million hooker or what? Like, I wanna know. Alright, so, okay, physics.
Sounds like you're
average
only going to
JoJo
find out
character.
these answers if you watch the anime, Madao.
Okay, C-Wabs makes the argument he's an angel. I don't think human anatomy applies, to be fair. I was like, well, it's not... I don't think anyone sane enough should be drawing this in the first place, but whatever. It's not. I still. I don't think it's gone as far as Kenichi in comparison. Even after all this, I still think Kenichi is like the worst culprit by far. Maybe they're for decoration. Maybe I'm sure his wings can't carry him because of how small they are. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I thought we were gonna be hung up on the heroines of the story here, but apparently, the angel beefcake took the cake on that one, I guess. Can we discuss anime or manga we know that have male character focused ecchi humor rather than female? If I may start, I raise you a panty shots we get in of Senshi in Can you send me the picture and I'll pull it up just for context? Because I'm pretty sure if I search up Senshi panty shot, on Google, I'm gonna get a lot of shit flying in the air. But yeah, actually, do we have like good ecchi representation? Like, because literally saying panty shots what we get of Senshi sounds quite disturbing, because I'm not sure if you know who Senshi is. I'm sure you've all seen Delicious in Dungeon, right?
And read through the whole manga. Yep.
Oh, good for you.
I
That's
have
great.
not, but I know the character.
Do you know Aiko?
No, I do not. No.
Alright, so just giving you context, yeah, Senshi is this dwarf character.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're talking about the idea that this guy has panty shots in this manga.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so Ang has directly sent me 3 panty... Oh, okay. Okay, so we're gonna start with Exhibit A. I'm gonna just try and zoom that out. So, Exhibit A. Alright, Exhibit B. And finally, and this one, my god, is quite egregious.
Oh.
Alright, let me zoom out a bit for the audience to get the full splendor. There we go. It's not disturbing, it's breaking new ground, as Angus put it. Is this the direction ecchi humor should go?
To be honest, I actually did find it pretty funny in the anime. So maybe I can't say that I enjoyed it, for its etchiness, but I did find it funny. So
it doesn't crack the bar for me, Calix has put it. Heaven forbid a man doesn't put on his black smog shader to censor it.
Okay. Fire Force, despite despite the fact that usually when people talk about the ecchi in the show, they talk about Tanuki, actually is a good example of an anime that does have ecchi humor that caters to the female gaze in the form of Team 8 calendar. Yeah, they're like nude calendar.
Where it's just like men posing, buff men posing in that one.
Naked, yeah, and it's brought up enough that I think it's actually pretty relevant because it's literally brought up every season, and it's even in the last opening.
So Fire Force, okay, this already we already get like a bikini shot here out of nowhere, but yeah, do we got muscle girl, muscle guy? Yeah, so we do get like a good amount of like muscular man in the show. I guess does this count? So Mado, I think Yakitaki Japan has some male ones as Shokugeki no Soma maybe. Yeah, Shokugeki no Soma. Despite what people say about like the amount of ecchi in that regarding the women, the men come up naked quite a lot in the series. I think it might be more so compared to the actual female characters.
No, yeah, for sure.
I like how there's a stray Asta in the search of Fire Force as well. Black Clover, stray Black Clover. He sneaked into Fire Force, yeah. Muscle guy. Yeah, stray Asta got into the shop there. Jesus. All right. So we got so let's talk about more male examples because it's quite interesting. Do you think there's any male examples that come to your head, Ed, of ecchi per se?
Honestly,
ecchi, yes, ecchi humor is a bit harder to think of.
Yeah. Because it's there's not much to I feel like there's less to expose on a male body, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, it's just okay, yeah, abs and biceps, but
but
okay.
it's just basically just gazing at men's muscles, but that's the joke.
That's pretty much it. Because I mean, what are you I guess if you
yeah, which is basically how heavy are the dumbbells you lift that Calix has brought up as well. It's gazing at it's the muscles. That's it. That's the joke.
Yeah, and it's that's already exposed anyway. So I don't know if there's much in or to that, as opposed to female, gaze.
I'm struggling to think of examples except for Eminence and Shadow but I know I've seen it in other places as well, where it's usually like a hot springs scene, you know, where like the man doesn't have a towel and shows off his dick to everyone.
Yeah, so
I
I
think
actually wanted to bring
I
this
think
up.
that's the only male fan service that I can really think of.
All right,
In most shows.
I'm gonna give you an example. So this is gonna be like very left field, I guess, of what we've discussed so far. All right, I'm gonna tell you a scene from an anime. Don't I guess you could shout out like if you recognize the scene and stuff like that. A couple of guys are in the locker room shower, and they notice how big one of the other guys' penis is. And then they make fun of him for how big his penis is for like the rest of the series.
I actually don't. I don't know the series.
You don't know the series? You don't know the series? Does anyone know the series? I'm pretty sure someone in the chat does. Not Gintama. Not Gintama. No. Gintama is an ecchi humor, a cleverly hidden ecchi humor joke because Gin means silver and Tama means soul, but when you put them together, you get silver balls in Japanese. So just to reiterate, CWABs, I've described a scene from an anime, and just wondering if you guys knew what the scene was from, where a couple of guys are in the gym and they're in the shower room, and one of them notices how massive the dick is of one of the guys, and they make fun of him of his massive dick for the rest of the series. And it was the question of what was that series, and Ang for some reason thought it was Gintama, but there's no way. Gintama does have ecchi humor. I think it's very well done ecchi humor, where the ecchi humor is a different kind, and I think it's really well done. Not how the heavy are the dumbbells you lift now. It is Hajime no Ippo. Oh.
Oh, really? I don't
Yes.
remember that at all.
Yes.
Okay.
It is a running gag 1,000 chapters later. And it's introduced quite early into the series, is where Ippo is in the shower room and Takamura notices he's got a thing, and he pretty much makes fun of him for his massive dick throughout the entire rest of the series. He even gives him like the nickname Big Mara Ippo. Oh, and there's also like funny analogies of like an elephant. You know what he's They were trying to
didn't know that. I knew it was reminding me of something, and yeah, Hajime no Ippo does seem like the series that would
This
have
is
that.
a serious boxing
I've
manga.
never watched it,
It's very serious, I tell you. I'm super serious right now. No, I think it's always had like I think Hajime no Ippo has some. It tends to have some ecchi humor. It's borderline. It's very borderline questionable. There's a scene where Takamura he sees a couple like getting their groove on in a beach under the cover of darkness, and he's trying to sneak in as a participant until fireworks start flaring, and then they just realize, and then they see him in full. They see him out in the open. It's quite, it's quite disturbing in a way. They were trying to prank him, but doing from the back grab. Yeah, I know in Japan there's this whole joke, like sort of locker humor joke in Japan, where they sneak behind the guy and grab his dick, and I know that's what happened. That's how it started with Ippo. Does Captain Jack Harkness count as ecchi humor? My brain has fried already. Captain. Oh, from fucking Doctor Who. Just before I even finished typing it down. I feel like that's fun flirting, honestly. That's just flirting. Yeah, my brain was thinking like, this is what anime character? I was thinking like Captain Tsubasa or something like, when does Captain Tsubasa do this shit? All right. Yeah.
An
Sorry.
example of bad ecchi humor that I forgot to mention, but I was going to earlier, is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Oh
Another
my
example
god.
where
Yeah, that's
where
bad.
it's not funny, and you can also just tell the author. Well, not tell. We objectively know what the author's fetishes and tastes are because he's made hentai doujinshi of his own work and
Really?
also
Oh
other
my
original
god.
characters.
That is
So we know,
slightly
so he is a
disturbing.
shota. So we know. I'm not sure if he's a shotokan or if he just likes the dichotomy of like a little boy and a big titty woman. But he's made multiple hentai manga involving that very dichotomy. And this character, the character on the
Yeah.
screen right now, is
Yeah.
actually in one of them. And so that's a good example of like
Yeah.
etchy quote unquote humor that isn't really humor. It's just the
It's just
author's not even slightly disguised fetish.
and it's to the
Yeah.
point of distraction. I feel like sometimes.
I would
It's-
agree.
I mean, the Shotokan humor. We'll get to that, but like even like the massive like boob sizes of characters is just completely ridiculous. Can we get like fucking hell, like that's not good. That is more than the actual torso. That's more body mass than the torso. I'm not sure like any woman can do that. It's not good, you know. It's not good, man.
Impossible.
Yeah, so I'm not huge on that. It's pretty unfunny. It's like the kind of it's like basically the only humor that it's only humor that would apply or would be found funny to like a Discord mod with a rotund belly that he like slaps in joy as like a dragon maid character comes on screen and her tits are out and she's laying on the character aptly named Shota and he's just
Yeah, his
laughing
name is
and-
fucking Shota. Like that's like, you know,
it's
that's
just it's just not funny to me and there's other series, for instance, like Akabi-chan, which doesn't have ecchi humor, but it's a good example of a series where even though it doesn't have ecchi or ecchi humor, you can just tell based on how the author draws the characters with such precise anatomy that he's definitely a pedophile and maybe he has some weird stuff on his computer. This is not a diss to the show. It's just like, it's pretty weird in the manga how accurate it gets. And also there's a bunch of foot scenes.
yeah. It is like if this is your third volume cover, that's gonna be a problem. Yeah. Oh my god. Nah, it's like Goblin Slayer naming all its characters after what they are. Yeah. I fear for the sounds. I can't fucking read. I fear for the sounds that would sound from a back massage by a cow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I get what you mean. Goblin Slayer is actually is not a good example of just not
Good
of
example
ecchi
of ecchi,
humor, but
maybe
just
not
ecchi.
humor though.
But ecchi
Yeah.
is just there, and it's like, is it required? Is it needed? Like, okay,
Yeah.
I think the Yakabi Sailor
It's-
author just used to draw H manga. It's just,
That would make sense. I would need to look into that, but that's interesting.
if I write ecchi, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. The page is not looking good. That's yeah, it's quite bad. I mean, it's about a character with like, you know, like a helmet. And he's just, you know, he's killing goblins, and I know the content is supposed to make you despise goblins about what they do and the illicit acts and stuff like that, you know.
But when the camera's on the big tits of the sexy anime woman, how am I supposed to how am I supposed to feel the strong negative emotions? You know what I mean?
There's a character literally called Cowgirl, and she's like, I know she looks after cows in the farm, but it doesn't help her case when she has like massive bazongas. Like, it's
Well, this is actually off the topic of ecchi humor, but like it's always weird in anime.
yeah,
And this isn't just an anime thing. I've seen it in movies too, where there's like a rape scene and the camera is like focused on the tits of the woman or like how sexy she looks in distress or something. That's always like really weird and makes you question the author's intentions.
yeah. Isn't she the one who wants to marry Goblin Slayer? They all want to marry Goblin Slayer. At that point in the series, it doesn't matter. They all want to marry the Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, with isekai or like any fantasy with RPG elements doesn't have to be isekai. It's always just like how long until it becomes a harem.
Yeah. I don't know why. I never bothered with the settings or CWAVs. I don't know why it makes the funky sound effect. I will probably go figure out I'll go through settings eventually. I think it's default on Opera. But yeah. Did we talk about Konosuba? No, we have not talked about Konosuba. Is that a good... I feel like that's kind of peak humor. I think the ecchi humor goes to so far to an extent that it kind of circles back around and it just makes it even more funny.
I think that it is similar to Dragon Maid in a little bit.
Really? I think it's...
Yeah, I think it goes too far on the ecchi humor. Some of it's funny. I say similar to Dragon Maid because I do think that some of the ecchi humor is funny, but there are definitely parts where I think it just like the one that comes to my mind the most is that episode where the succubus gets into the main character's mind and makes him think that he's in a dream, and so he sexually assaults Darkness in the bathroom, I think. And that was I just thought that was way too far for it to go. It like became like less funny because it just was... I don't know.
It was more painful to watch than...
it was more painful to watch than funny, right?
Is that what you're saying?
Just too much cringe, yeah.
Okay, so Kalik says that he's telling this scene really poorly.
I'm summarizing it, and yes, it is poor, but that was the gist of it in my brain. Like, that's how it came across to me.
That's... I mean, if that's what you remember from it, maybe if that's all you remember from it, yeah, sure. Aiko, right. Have you seen Konosuba?
I have not, but I've seen... Who was it that was watching it? Fuck, I forgot. But I do also agree that it's like there just comes a point where it's like, oh, I'm like laughing and I'm like, oh, haha, that's really funny, like, and then it just continues on and then I'm like, oh, okay, like, yeah. Yikes, like, what is that? It's cringy, you know, like, it's like I feel like a twinge of uncomfortableness in my chest. And yeah, I don't know, like, there's so many anime like that
so
I like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, it's just like, it's like if they cut back just a little bit, it would be funny. Like, if they just left it at that perfect medium, but it just goes too far, and it's just uncomfortable. Like,
so, yeah.
I don't know.
I know what you mean, yeah. So, CWAVs brings up something. So, one joke that's unconfirmed from the light novel that a friend told me about one time was apparently that there's a running joke in the light novel that Kazuma considers Aqua so dumb that she's incapable of consenting.
Oh.
That's... okay, I mean, if it's true, that's fucked. But, yeah.
I think that's a little bit cringe, right? I'm glad they didn't include that in the anime adapt.
Yeah, that's a bit...
Oh, wait. I don't think that doesn't necessarily mean he's like having sex with. I think that's just more of a comment on like how stupid she is, as opposed to him being like she's so
but
dumb
like,
she can't consent, so I'm gonna fuck her or something.
yeah,
Really
yeah.
egregious.
Oh god.
Sure,
I mean,
but
if
I
we go
can't
that
think of-
far, we might as well bring up like redo of healer and stuff like that, because that's just that's just
Yeah,
assault by that point. Yeah.
like some of it is like, sure, I mean, we don't know the context of like why he was thinking that, but I mean,
Well, Quabs put it
Out
in the
of con-
chat. Like that's how I thought. That's how I viewed it as well.
Mhm.
I think with
Uh,
stuff like that, like I was gonna bring up an anime like No Game No Life, and it's like when you're doing ecchi, right, or like ecchi humor,
Yeah.
but you're like including other elements in it, like for example,
Like
No Game No Life,
incest.
it's like that's
Yeah.
incestual, like
Yeah.
that just makes it
Hmm.
like okay, fine, it's funny, like you saw your sister like bathing, or but like it's your sister, like that's
Ha
just
ha 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 ha.
makes it like
Syscon.
That's horrible.
Syscon. I feel like we
Like,
need to
if they weren't
make a
related.
blacklist. We need to make a blacklist of the type of fetishes. Like Syscon is like up there.
yeah.
Shotacon.
Anything related to
Shotacon.
anyone familial, that's just like, all right, this is not. This is pushing it. I don't know how I like, because humor, there's supposed to be some point of like relatability, right? That's why it's kind of funny. For instance, in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, when Edward sees Winry changing, because it's like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like maybe I'd react like that too. Haha, so funny. But it gets to a point, if it's like with siblings, who's relating to this? Who's actually like finding it funny when like
That
a
is an
brother
original
walks
thought.
into his sister? Like
That is an
when a
original
brother
thought,
walks,
like, nobody.
Right, it's just weird. It's just too far.
Honestly, I mean, I am like everyone who knows me in the Discord server knows that I am like the biggest, anti-incest guy out there, and I hate it. I personally hate it. I have like a bunch of siblings, and just the very thought I just find absolutely disgusting. The fact that someone would think that is just absolutely awful to me. And it's
I
like
think it's usually from manga authors that are like single children that just like think the idea of it's really sexy.
we've had this. So I've had this discussion before, and it's
Not at all
that
defending it,
argument
by the
that
way.
has like it's kind of like this is sort of like only child mindset, and but also like for some reason I've heard in cases I've heard someone say, yeah, but when I see this stuff, it's not my siblings, so I'm okay with it.
But it's like, okay, but can you put? Of course, it's not your fucking sibling. It's an anime. But like,
Yeah.
if you put yourself in that position, and like, that's that's brother and sister. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's my fucking like, ew.
Well, like I guess a slight counterpoint is like, okay, so say I'm watching an anime, and say let's go back to Naruto. I'm watching Naruto, and
Yeah.
Itachi like kills his family or whatever. Well, obviously I'm not gonna be like,
Oops, nip
oh my
slip.
god, I'm not gonna be like, never mind, I can't ever forgive Itachi. I'll never enjoy him as a character because like I could never imagine me killing my family. But at the same time, like something like incest, that's just reprehensible on every level, Like that's one of those like you should just be against that by virtue. Like that shouldn't have to be it's not even really a matter of putting yourself in the character's shoes or not. It's just like something you should just be anti.
Thank you,
inherently.
Calix, for sending me the video of the guy the angel from Macademi Washoy. I'm not gonna play it now, but I'll take a look later. No matter if I die, if I'm dead tomorrow, you know what killed me, okay, guys? Yeah, I totally get that, and it's it just grinds my gears sometimes. I think even it's starting to be like such commonplace. I don't know if it's just like the corruption. It's corrupting our youths. I don't know. Like,
And it makes it even worse because, like, I feel like it's always the, like, sister always being portrayed as, like, a million years younger than her brother.
yeah, it's
And,
always
like,
the older. It's
on
always the
top of
older
that-
brother. But
Right, and it's like,
But it's
on
not-
top
but
of
it's
that,
not-
you're gonna
it's
make
not
her, like,
entirely
2 years
the-
old.
it's not entirely the case. I mean, you do see it the other way around with like Spy X Family with Yuri
Okay,
and
yeah.
Yor. Like Yuri. I
Oh,
mean,
we need Lazy in here for this conversation.
call him up. Call him up.
Hey, I'll invite Lazy in here. This will really make it entertaining.
But yeah, it's I like Black Clover's Ghost as a parody of this because every time he pulls that shit, the entire cast reacts with disgust. Lamau. I love that sort of character, especially when he gets shat on. So let me just Black Clover Ghost. Just trying to remind myself. Yeah, like they proper shit because he's a syscon in that. But they proper shit on him for it. Yeah. Actually, a sort of ecchi character who kind of like I wouldn't say ecchi because it's not really that much. I guess it is a bit of an ecchi show. It is in Beelzebub with Furuichi, where he's sort of like a lustful character, and he's kind of like considered the thing, but he is constantly the butt of a joke, and like the punch bag of the series, like. There's also like a Freddie Mercury looking demon guy who kind of lusts after him as well, so it's kind of, it's that quid pro quo situation, I guess.
Hey, so is that that's some male ecchi humor? Yeah.
Does that count? Does that count? Or
I don't know. Is it humorous? I've never seen it, so you tell me.
I think it's like there's a decent amount of humor. I think it's sure, why not? Let's see what Hub says. Yeah, sure, why not? I think if we like really pulling threads here, yeah, I think it does count in some ways. I mean, ecchi humor is just something. I think it's ecchi humor kind of alludes to something illicit. Alludes to something illicit. Sometimes they show illicit content as well. So I think it's sort of that because it's just like, this kind of grown man lusting after this teenage boy is a bit questionable, but it's also borderline funny as well. But yeah. Moving on. Do you so? I have an overall question actually, and I because you guys have been watching anime for a long time, and essentially, what I would like to know is whether or not ecchi humor. So the reason why I said polished or primitive is because how we regard ecchi humor over the passage of time, and whether or not it's still regarded the same way as it was, let's say, 20, 30 years ago. And do you think our standards has changed as a society, where ecchi humor, where we're starting to condone it less nowadays, or do you think it's the quality was actually better back then?
When
Or do you
even
think-
was the if kind of tangenting already? When even was the peak of ecchi humor in anime and manga?
Calyx
was that
says
early
definitely
2000s?
not. It was always the same. So the fact that you're bringing up that there was a peak is already like making a point right there.
Yeah.
I don't think
because
I think it
2000s?
definitely has changed. I'll say that much.
Yeah. I think thinking back to the shows that were like ecchi, just purely about ecchi humor, 2000s definitely, 2000 early 2010s, right? That's that's where, like I feel like the peak was somewhere in then.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, it's
Um,
just, I feel like the newer
I
stuff.
think that's when it. I think that's definitely when it peaked. That's when it became like if you look at seasonal charts from the early 2000s and you sort by new and airing, or like new shows
mhm.
as opposed to shows that were airing like previously, there's so many etchy shows. It's almost like in every single anime from like the year
Yeah.
2000 to 2005 TV anime. That is.
Do you think?
Um,
Do you think it's so? You think it's like gone downhill compared to before, or
well, I guess if we're strictly talking etchy humor. I
yeah?
would say I've never really found it funny. Like even if we go all the way back to like the 1980s, like from 1981 to 1983, there was a Toei Animation anime that's like 90, 100 episodes or something. Or sorry, a Studio Pierrot anime maybe. I forgot which, but it's called like Maiching Machiko Sensei, and it's about like some sexy teacher that has like faculty and students alike thirsting after her. And honestly, a lot of the trademark jokes in it from every clip I've seen doesn't seem all that different from ecchi humor today, as in it's basically just, oh, the wind blows up this teacher's panties, and then a boy acts perverted and is like, wow, teacher really has a nice ass. So I'd say like in terms of humor, it's stayed mostly consistent.
Mm.
Um,
I mean,
but
we
And also, I'd
from
like to say to
yeah.
Calix, if you were paying attention, early on, you said never found it funny. Jesus, live a little. Well, if you actually paid attention earlier, I greatly praised Dragon Ball's very funny ecchi humor. But I'm strictly speaking on ecchi humor that is where the joke is just, haha, girls' tits are out, which isn't really funny. It's
Or
it's just rather
random panty
overdone.
shots or illicit angles, I guess, as
Right,
well.
because that's just kind of like stupid. It gets to a point.
Hmm. We've got. We apparently says we've gone too. They say we've gone too far in the opposite direction at that point. Fair enough. So CWAV says ecchi humor has become more primitive. It did get polished at times, but it's now primitive. But also the standards feel to. I'm guessing you said fell to hell. I think since many authors just like to try their shots with humor, even if it's not funny, just trying whatever they can.
Yeah.
Not see what that's yeah. Fair. I think the main point he was making was that most ecchi humor isn't good and most effective. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's true. I think. Do you think like there was so? Sorry, we got Bao's opinion. I didn't get. So we'll start with Aiko. Do you think it's changed over time or?
Honestly, I think like the concept of it hasn't changed. Do I think that like it's a lot less apparent now? Definitely. But I again like there's not many ways you can go about it. Like I think the definition in itself is, like uh I don't know, a boy falls over like accidentally and again like he sees up a teacher's skirt and like that's there's no other way to put that. And that's
Yeah.
just what the humor is and that's the definition of that. So there's no other way to really change that or to like scope it. And now we're just adding other elements like, like we were talking about earlier, like more, I guess, vulgar elements such as like incestual like stuff or I don't know, even in like food wars, I guess this is kind of weird to bring up, but like why are we like moaning over food? It's just like getting weirder, like
Yeah.
that's all. It's getting a bit more abstract.
I feel I don't know. I feel like there's it's sort of very borderline when it comes to Shokugeki, only because of the food wars. It's only because of the fact that it's a gimmick used throughout the series consistently, across entire spectrum, I think.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I think what it was trying to do was try to be so far out there and so attention grabbing that it can sort of create this, I wouldn't say uncanny valley, but it's like, there's a sort of point where, okay, are we going too far? Like that sort of thing,
Right.
but yeah.
Yeah.
It
It's
can,
just they're trying to change it up. Like, I guess it's just so repetitive that you're just like, okay, well, I have to add something else in there to like make it interesting because this has been around for like a while. Like,
mm,
I'd say like just it's been around and it's like even if the anime itself is not like tending to that, like ecchi humor, like there's always gonna be some kind of episode that like includes that or in like some way.
yeah,
And I think like a lot of writers and um, like they're just trying to find new ways to make it interesting or
yeah.
to make it like new.
Do you think? I mean, but like, do you think they're not doing it as successfully as series before, or just
I believe it's now catered to a specific group of people nowadays.
so? You
Uh,
think you think it's just become like so like made efficient now that it's just catered rather than just something that was inserted in organically. It was
yeah,
just
I definitely think like it's for a specific type of person, and there's a lot of those people, I guess. Especially with like the internet nowadays.
yeah, because
And
they know
how
because
closed off we are.
yeah, because
Yeah.
they know it's like they know the market now. It's not like
Right.
before where they were sort of exploring the market and trying out new things and trying to make it seem like organic or something like that. In this case, they just know, so they're just gonna do it in because it fits the algorithm, so to speak.
Right. Yeah, it's just catering, that's all.
It starts to feel like. Would you say like it's become more corporate?
Yes.
Um,
Big yes.
yeah.
Big yeah, big yeah. So but ecchi, so it's not because of the fact that ecchi humor. So it's not us as the readers thinking, oh, actually, we like it's beneath us. It's an old primitive thing. No, it's just because of the fact that it's become so corporate that it just feels somewhat
Well, if it's
soulless.
become more corporate, or if it's actually kind of gone down.
You think it's you think
But
it's less corporate? You think now or what?
I don't. Well, I mean, I guess it would have to be more corporate, just because anime is so much more globalized. More anime is being produced than like any time in history, and money is the main driving factor. But I think in general, we just have less true ecchi anime coming out. We'll have like a very extreme ecchi anime come out, like maybe like one or two a season. Then other than that, it's not as apparent. You don't. I don't think we actually get as much ecchi as we did, like say 10 years ago or so.
Yeah,
Of
C-Webs makes
pure
a
ecchi, I would agree. Yeah,
C-Webs
but I
makes a good
think
point.
that.
Right,
Oh,
so
go
I
ahead.
just want
Yeah.
to say, I don't think it's more corporate, but more clickbaity and less genuine.
Maybe that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
King. Yeah, could say what you wanted to
I-
say.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I think that so I do think it's I think that the clickbaity and less genuine comes from the fact that it's corporate or more corporate. Like it's safe, like people when you make an anime
That's a good
now,
point.
you play it safe. You don't go too hard on the ecchi elements because then you'll push away too many people who are afraid of those ecchi elements. But you don't have to include them, but if you include them, you pull in that young male audience or young female audience, depending on what type of ecchi humor it is, right? And then that uh you know yeah, it's all marketing, it's all corporate, and I think it's made it more primitive, definitely.
I think so. I think it's like lost its art, so to speak. I think it feels more primitive because it feels more soulless. So like when we get like for example, we get, like, let's say we want reading a manga, and then we get the anime translation, and then you see the anime studio inserts panty shots, or suggestive angles, so to speak.
Right.
You know, is that is that a problem? I feel like that's a problem. It's a growing problem.
I think it is. I think that, doing ecchi in the way that most shows do ecchi, it doesn't feel like art. It feels like a canned experience with some sort of artificial twist.
Yeah. Oh, Calix makes a good question. Do you think the isekaification of anime had anything to do with it? Bao, you gave your answer in the chat.
100%. Yeah.
Bao, do you want to give it? Can I hear what you think?
I think.
And
Isekai
why?
Anime
So
is
what's
funny.
What's the connection with that? Actually, is it because?
I think it's because, or I think the reason it almost became more corporate is because most isekai anime are entirely catered towards like men. The protagonists are male, and they're usually blank slates. And this has been obviously, if it needs to be proven, it's been confirmed by so many industry insiders that is of course an intentional decision so that the audience can self-insert more easily. And then typically these men who have very base level traits are there's tons of women who lust after them and thirst after them. And I think, obviously if there's big titty anime girls, going after some blank slate protagonist, that leads to ecchi. And in the case of a lot of modern anime, as King pointed out, it typically is not too far. It's not like, for instance, like Manu Scroll from like the early 2000s, but it's also not safe enough to necessarily appeal to moms and dads.
Yeah, I think personally that I think there is a strong connection between the sort of the isekaiification of anime. I think there is a sort of strong connection. Only because of the fact, and I just put up this meme, I don't want to live on this planet anymore, is because we're facing a growing epidemic where basically men are just running away from, want to run away from society, essentially, or like are just unhappy with the state of things. Could be I could make it a social commentary about that, to be honest. I think with the fact that there is an increase in isekais, it's because of the setting. It's because of the fact that in isekais, it's sort of set in like a medieval fantasy era, and that kind of opens the door for a lot of writers or mangakas for questionable content. And I think it's because of the fact that there is isekai. The isekai market has become somewhat bloated in a way, and that we're seeing so much different isekais, and they kind of all fall usually under the same kind of tropes. Especially in terms of the illicit kind, it feels kind of hollow and played out and like algorithmic almost. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm spouting shit, but yeah, that's why.
And isekai is directly tied to like both the globalization and like more corporate feel of a lot of anime, because I know there's always those memes that are like, sorry that I watched Demon Slayer instead of that time I got reincarnated into XYZ. But the irony of those memes is that isekai anime are actually the epitome of coworker anime. Like, I work in a restaurant, and the amount of times I hear people, like line cooks and the like, talk about isekai slop is actually pretty frequent. And it's the kinds of people that they don't post on the internet, they don't like interact on Discord servers like this or anime tracking sites, but they do watch isekai anime. And people would be surprised by how many modern day casuals are actually just watching like the bottom of the barrel isekai slop and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we could just blame the men, but I also kind of want to blame the women as well, with specifically the Fujoshis. And to be fair, the only reason why Fujoshi, like the female market, doesn't get as much flack, I think it's because of the fact that it's they get away with it because they explicitly just stick to the doujinshis and the fan fiction. And like we, as the male audience or producer, I think it's because you could sort of paint it as part of the patriarchy, I guess, is that we have the goal to push our wants and desires onto into the mainstream media, where the Fujoshis keep it within there.
Well, I
Bro,
also just think
Fujoshi
it's
are
because-
scary though, depending on where you go. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they are scary.
I mean, the most in like, of course, like, well, anime appeals to men and women definitely, but it's just a general thumb that like the most popular anime, whether they're or manga, whether they're written by a female or not, are oftentimes from Shonen Jump, which is obviously a magazine that is for young boys, and also anime is primarily created by men, so more like an addition as opposed to me trying to like contradict anything you said.
Okay, I'm gonna remove the user limit in the voice thing to let Lazy come in real quick.
Oh, Lazy! Thank God.
Yeah, I just noticed Lazy come in, so I'm just removed the user limit.
Oh.
So
Hello.
Lazy.
Lazy, you were requested because we were talking about the potential incest in Spy Family.
Oh, what incest?
Specifically, it's mostly just the siscon dynamic between Yuri and Yor, and just the whole general like siscon trope archetype, I guess.
I don't know. It's very one-sided. I
You
don't,
thi- you
I
think
don't
it's-
see it happening.
You
Everything
don't
is
see.
real.
Do you think it exists at all, or do you think it's purely comedy? Like, do you think? I guess what I'm saying
I
is
think
like,
it's comedy, yeah.
do you think the brother has like genuine romantic desire for Yor, like the Twitter
I think
people make it
he's,
seem, or what?
I think he is comic relief.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
don't think it's real.
Fair enough.
Also, I just
You-
woke
you
up.
be-
I was
you-
hiking all day, so
Oh, no worries. It's okay. I was hiking today as well, so I totally get it. I wanted to like basically just quit and roll up and die. So I get what you I get it, man.
Lazy is ecchi anime. Do you think it has a place in today's society, or do you think it should be long forgotten?
I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't watch it though.
There we go. He doesn't care. He doesn't watch it. That's it. All right. We'll let you go back to sleep, Lazy. Sorry about that. Thank you for coming. Go sleep, my man. You sound like you're dying.
I mean, I just woke up, had a glass of water, and came here.
All right. Thank you anyways.
Oh, I love you, Lazy.
All right.
No
Love you, man.
problem. Kill
Alright.
yourself, Bao. Bye.
Gotta love it. Gotta love that. It's basically just following up with that. Yeah. So definitely, like the. I forgot where we're even going with this conversation. Just recapping what. So I love the phrase "co-worker anime." Solo level walks in, bro, Fujoshi scary going. I hated how most isekais just turned into I find something OP now. I'm OP. I'm going the I am OP and want a quiet life but doesn't fulfill. Yeah. It's becoming overinflated genre. And I think we're losing. I think it's something that will be worth discussing in future streams regarding isekais. But focusing on ecchi, I think we're starting to narrow down like the problem. It's because I feel like it's a society pressure now in terms of just generating clickbait. Awesome guest, thank you. Yeah, sure. It is. I think it's a sort of pressure that mangakas get now, to create this stuff, and it's something that we touched upon with shonen manga as well. It's just that because of because of the way society is at the moment, that the only kind of reader engagement we can get now consistently is if we do clickbait content.
Yeah.
Which is a bit sad thing. But is there like any modern ecchi, any modern ecchi humor that you think it's like in the 2020s? You can think of?
That's good or bad?
Good. Yeah, because we can pull up like a bunch of like crappy ones. I can think of like 2 animes from last year that had like random panty shots inserted in for no reason. But like, is there like any good ones? Is it just like has the well run dry?
I can't think of any, honestly.
Honestly, can anyone in chat think of any in the meantime? Bao, you're our last lifeline here. Can you tell us if there's any?
I mean, like, I can think of ones that people would mention, but they're usually just, like, really Reddit and cringe, like, what's it called? The Ishuzoku reviewers or something?
Oh, like, that's just, like, that's practically hentai at that point, don't you think?
Right, but it's still ecchi. It's still ecchi, you know? Like, for instance, as I mentioned earlier, Manu Scroll, that's even more... Or that's just as much of like a quote-unquote almost hentai, borderline hentai ecchi, but it's still considered an ecchi.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if sorry.
Go ahead.
I guess Konosuba could count. I don't think ReZero, even though it has like jokes about the main character being a pedophile, I don't think it actually has ecchi humor, really.
I still find some enjoyment in some ecchi humor shows. Just last year there was one aired in winter of 2025 called "I'm Getting Married to a Girl I Hate in My Class," and it was it's predominantly ecchi humor in a rom-com setting, and I thought it was fun. It was.
Is this the offender?
Yeah, that's the offender.
That's the offender. That's the culprit right there in the lineup. Okay.
Yeah, and I thought it was a pretty fun show.
Can you point on the diagram where it touched you? Is this the dog one? No, I know what you're talking about. This is not the dog one.
This is not the dog one.
And
I didn't watch the dog one, had no interest in the dog one.
I've heard of the dog one, and I've seen bits of the dog one, and I've heard the bad stuff that happens with the dog one. And, I'm already saying, like, the dog one a lot. The dog one is also straight up hentai, as I believe, yeah. So, what's the name of the dog one? Just so we can just show people so they can avoid it, obviously, not to watch it, just to avoid it.
I feel like knowledge is power. Dog anime, what could go wrong?
Dog anime. Let's see what comes up. My life as Inukai-san's dog. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I believe. Okay, so this is where it's thing, because I watched like a Trash Taste podcast, and they basically were talking about it, and I believe they were talking about a particular scene where they basically just ended up revealing the fact. I mean, like, look how fucking suggestive this fucking poster is already. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, they basically breastfed the dog.
Excuse me?
You heard me. You heard me. You heard
I wish
me.
I didn't.
You wish you didn't, and I'm passing on this forbidden knowledge to the rest of you right now, okay? That's what happened. I'm not repeating myself, okay? If you want to hear me say that again, well, go watch the stream later and on replay, okay? We're done. We're done here. We're done.
Doesn't that like cross into like bestiality though, in like a way?
It does.
Like,
It does, and that is something that we haven't touched on at all. And I think it's a growing epidemic because we make jokes about making the frogs gay and stuff like that. Well, we're getting girls falling in love with dogs now.
yeah, no.
Where's that?
Yeah.
There was a romance series where it's just flat out like a dog
There was
man.
also a
and
cat one, right? Wasn't
there is a cat.
There was
There
also
is
a
a cat.
one.
There is a cat one. Yeah, there is. Well, it's not really a cat one. They're side characters. I think the main love interest is invisible. I think this is the one you're talking about, right?
No,
That's
it's
not-
an isekai, or maybe it's not isekai, but it's like a fantasy show where the main character gets turned into a cat and becomes the cat pet monster of some adventure girl. And I don't know, didn't watch it, didn't sound interesting. Pretty sure it was last year though. Maybe it was the year before.
Was Vladlov is what Calix is bringing up. I don't know. I don't see Vladlov ever anywhere. Sorry, I know Mamoru. Can you give me like the title layer, Calix? I fell asleep and was awoken by bestiality. What happened? We're just basically it's just the ecchi humor has now gone to a point. I think we're in such a desperate, dire straits as an industry that we've now crossed into bestiality. It seems. I think that's
Okay.
which is concerning. Put space.
Behead
Okay, put space.
the elf girl's cat is secretly an S-ranked monster. That's the name of the
Alright, I have never seen this series before. Is this a good example or a bad example? I've never seen the series. The low rating tells me that it's a bad example. Like, I'm trying to find, like, a redeeming quality within this industry, like a redeeming ecchi-based series that debuted post-2020. But so far, we're just getting, like...
Hey, I
not
gave
good.
you one.
What was it? Sorry, I'm blanking out.
It was the getting married to the girl in my class one.
I thought is that
That was
considered good? That's considered good.
I considered it good.
You considered it good. Okay. Can
The
you tell us
rating
why?
the rating is kind of whatever.
I didn't actually wait. Getting married to
The girl I hate in my class or something like that.
yeah, because I got sidetracked there, but 6.7.
Yeah, I just thought it's fun. You know, it's a fun rom-com with some ecchi humor. But I thought the jokes are really funny, and I don't think it ever really took the ecchi humor too far. So, yeah, that was it for me. That was good.
It's not a strong case. It doesn't sound like a strong case, King.
Hey, I'm not. I don't think most ecchi anime are good because of their ecchi humor. So for me,
Yeah.
that's high praise.
That's high praise. Okay, fair enough. I mean, there's look. There's been like some ecchi humor that's been so funny. I burst out of laughter like a long time ago, and I'm just trying. Like Hajime no Ippo is like a prime example. Sometimes it really pushes the boundaries with the humor, where it becomes so. And I've already mentioned it already with some of the content where it really pushes the boundaries to the point where I start to question. But yeah, if it weren't for the isekais, I gotta say anime these days looks so freaking good. Like, pick up any random anime and you can bet it will look like a banger, even if the content is subpar. Yeah, I mean, you sound like so, like, anti-isekais, like, damn, these isekais have ruined the society, everything. It's basic, so I feel like the bottom line is, and what Bao has said already, is just like, isekais have ruined it. It's the isekai's fault, basically. I think we narrowed it's the overlapping contribution of isekais and big corporations. But
yeah, I think that really has hurt the isekai humor genre for definitely.
So what do you
But
guys?
there's still some good implementations of like isekai humor in shows, you know, like there's or not isekai humor,
Not
ecchi humor in
ecchi,
shows.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's already the isekai pandemic has already overridden our brains now. Aiko, do you think like is there any way we can save the ecchi industry? Can we save it?
What do you save it?
What are you saving? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, but
I don't know if like saving would be
the right term, yeah.
the right term for that. I think I don't even know. I guess what's a better term for
Is
that?
it redeemable? Is it redeemable? Can we still make good content, or is it just like a dried up well and there's just nothing we can do anymore? We should just give up on it.
Can we ever make another Kill la Kill?
Yeah, for sure, but is it going to be repetitive? Absolutely. It's going to come to a point where it's like really repetitive. I mean, you could come up with so many storylines and just, but maybe not, because I mean, ecchi is just it's a concept, and it's like, okay, same jokes, whatever, and you can put it in any storyline without making it too much, and not make it so just the way it has been lately. So I think there is a point where it can be revived, but like in a way, but it's all just the same stuff. Like it's just repetitive, and it's very like I know when I'm gonna watch something like that, I probably know like 5 of the jokes they're gonna say.
Yeah.
And I guess it's funny every time, maybe, depending on the context, but
I'm trying to find that one anime where the girl is in love with this anthropomorphic dog. There we are. There it is. Yeah, it's like a girl is in love with an anthropomorphic dog man. Yeah. It's not ecchi though, but it's corrupting society. It's a dog man, so it might as well be.
I mean, if it's a dog man, I don't know, like that could be like okay, maybe? I don't know if that's still like considered like
Okay, so Calix actually gives a good example of I guess modern I mean it's a continuation from the anime in 2018, I believe. Doro Hedoro, where like where sort of there's ecchi content in there, but I think it's used sort of, and I feel disgusted with myself saying it's used tastefully. But yeah, there's that. But yeah, I think
I've not actually watched it.
You're not actually watched it. It's pretty good. I mean, it's written by a female author as well. So I love how world dominate. I love after world domination trust. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that one's a bit. Love after world. Yeah. That one's. I feel like I feel like it's just playing onto the tropes of like the skimpy outfits that you see in Sentais a lot. But I could be wrong. But yeah, it's basically it. I think we've narrowed down the overlining problem. Cells at work in the other spin-off series. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, we could go off into a tangent and just keep listing off series. But yeah. Is there anything you guys want to say? Like, any final thoughts on the just the ecchi industry as a whole?
Or? I don't know. I guess I'm not the biggest fan because I don't really.
Yeah.
Like I don't sit down and watch TV and like laugh at it. Like I'll just kind of sit there straight face and I'm like, oh, that was kind of funny, I guess. But like, it doesn't really like affect me like that personally.
So
yeah.
do you think it's just it just doesn't really have a place anymore with you personally? Or
Yeah, honestly, I could live without it, for sure.
yeah,
Like-
I think the overall moral of the story here is what I'm getting is that we should, as what Silver puts it, we should burn isekais to fix the ecchi industry.
Yeah.
Do you at least agree with that statement, or do you think we should?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Yes.
Okay, all right. We're gonna have to retract that statement because he said something stupid about Sword Art Online, but we'll just. Bao, any final comments? Do you think we could do anything? Do you think? All right, he just died. Bao is
I think
dead.
he's deafened, yeah.
Yeah,
Ecchi.
he's gone.
Yep.
King, any final thoughts?
No, I mean, I kind of like I'm okay to let the ecchi humor industry burn.
You don't think it's redeemable or it could be like
I think-
used for good? Can it be used for good?
I think that I think that the humor, the ecchi humor, is humor that is like it's not super repeatable. And so we've already made most of the shows that are going to be like really funny with ecchi humor, and there's probably some out there that still could be made, but we'll like I would hope that we never have like a resurgence of the genre like we did back in the the peak days of ecchi humor.
Yeah,
Is what I mean, right?
yeah.
Use it as a flavor. Don't use it as the whole meal, right?
I mean, I sort of half agree with you, only because I feel like if it's a series that is kind of like the whole theme is centered around it, like as the main point, it's kind of it's very back and forth. Honestly, there is one particular series that comes to my mind where it sort of has a lot of ecchi humor. But the main theme of the show, the heart of the show is kind of like a serious, but it's a harem at the same. Okay, it's really weird. Trying to justify any anime makes you just look like a questionable person, honestly. Hey, so
True.
it's honestly we have damaged ourselves in this conversation as much. And I think we can all agree we've all dug our own graves in some way in this debate.
Yes.
Do I look? So I mean, at the end of the day, everyone has their own standards. I mean, going through like everyone's sort of tropes, and like even when it comes to like incest stuff, everyone's got like their own tolerance and standards that it's it's just gonna be it's an ever present thing, but at the end of the day, I think the underlying problem is kind of like it's the corporate touch, it's the clickbait factor, it's because of it's the algorithm, essentially. It's the fact that the creative process is tainted by that knowledge that it needs to be pandered to an algorithm to get the views that it wants, and that's a sad truth, unfortunately. I mean, it's impossible for people like to get like a wide audience and to give the respect a series deserves, unless you try to grab their attention, which is a sad truth. But that's just how the way the world is, unfortunately. I wish. I know all we can do is try to highlight the series that we love, and also just try to try to highlight the series that just does the ecchi humor the justice. I think I think Grand
Yeah.
Blue is a good example as well. Chojime wants to be a Kamen Rider. That one's a bit silly, but yeah, that's also a good example as well. Yeah, that's basically it. I think we've reached a good consensus at the end of the stream. I don't know about you guys, but thank you, Aiko, and thank you, King, and thank you, Bao. You guys were very fun to talk to. If there's anything else, you think you guys in the comments want to talk about as well. This is simul streamed on YouTube as well, so yes, it is simul streamed on YouTube, so you can rewatch it on YouTube as well. But we'll go. But feel free to look. We have a Discord server. We can discuss it. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. So yeah. But yeah, thank you guys, and we're gonna call it a night. Hope you have a good one. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you, Madao.
Bye bye. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I am going to